Yo, what's good people, it's JayCactus, and in today's video, I'm doing something a little bit different and I'm going to attempt to make a drill beat using my voice. So the team at Vochlea have just sent me this. It's a voice to MIDI controller, which basically means you can assign your voice to any instrument or effect in your DAW. Now when I started this channel, I told myself that I'd only ever promote something if I'd use it myself. I didn't really want to be one of them guys that was just promoting any product just for the sake of it, just to try and earn some money. But with this, when these guys reached out to me, I thought this product's kind of sick because there's a lot of times when I'm making melodies and I've got something in my head and it takes me a while to kind of figure out where the notes are supposed to be. And I know a few of my subscribers have the same problem because I always encourage people to try and think of a melody in the head and then put it down in the piano roll. But a lot of people say to me that they can think of something in their head but they have no idea where to put it. So this is like the perfect solution because one of the features that I like about this is that you can actually lock in the scale. So say for example you're working in D minor and then you're humming out a melody. It's going to lock your voice into that scale so that you don't step out of it. I'm going to show you a lot of the features when I start making the beat, but I also need to announce the winners from last week's giveaway. So the two usernames that were selected at random were Matija and Hakala Bakala. I know it's a mouthful, but I'm just going to put the names up on the screen so you can see them both there. So make sure you message me on Instagram and I'll hook you up with a code to get the action pack completely free. But let's get into the video. Alright, so when you're getting started, it opens up like this. So you obviously need your DAW open, and then Vochlea Dubler is the software which comes with the microphone. So you're going to use the triggers to assign your voice to drums, and then controls to assign it to an instrument. So that's where you can create your melodies. You can control individual sounds, but if you want to control numerous ones at the same time, then you want to use something like FPC, which comes with FL. So FPC is like a drum pad. It's what you use to connect your MIDI controller to. So I'm going to drag my kick in, and then my snare. I'll do a hat too. And now you want to assign triggers. So for example, I'm going to train this for a snare. I'm going to train a kick. I've turned velocity control off just so that it stays the same volume all the way through. And then for the hats. So now that I've assigned these triggers, I can record a pattern in using my voice. So I'm thinking I might just start with the hat and the snare just because I know the bounce. So I've just quantized this and then I can press Control and B to copy it over. And now I've got a basic hat and snare pattern. Now I can add the kick in. Alright, so I'm just going to add a quick open hat as well. I need to quantize that too. Alright, so now that I've got a basic drum pattern, I've got a bit of a groove going. But here's where it gets a bit interesting. So I'm going to turn on the controls here, and I've got it linked to Omnisphere. I've just loaded up a piano for now. I might change the instrument in a bit though. So in the controls, there's a number of things you can do. You could turn on auto key detect, and then if you don't know what key you're working in, but you've got a melody in your head, you can hum it out, and it will actually detect the key for you, and then it will lock it into that key. Or you can select a scale. So right here, I've got D sharp minor. That's what I've selected. So now if I use like vowels or just hum, da, 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 you can see that all of these are actually notes. So you can see the ones that are deselected, they don't fit the scale. Now if I turn chords on, instead of just playing them one notes, it's actually going to build a chord for me. So watch. Da, 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 da. It's that simple. Da, da, da. Alright, so now I've just switched up the instrument and I've chosen Acquire and Expand too, and now it sounds like this. But I want to make it a bit more interesting, so I'm going to layer this and put some effects on it. So now I've added a stutter and some reverb and it sounded like this. And now to thicken it up, I've layered that with a different piano, so I've kind of gone back on myself, but I've put some effects on that and then changed it just slightly. So this is the progression. This is just the same chord progression, but this one is just made a bit longer. So now in my head, I'm thinking of a little counter melody. It's only going to be short, stabby strings, but this is going to help me get the right pitch. So I'm going to turn controls back on and record something in. So some of them notes were a little bit off, but I can just go back in and manually adjust them. Alright, so now I'm going to add the 808, and I could use the doubler, but I want to get the slides perfected, so I think I'm going to add them in manually. Alright, so I've come up with a quick 808 pattern and I've got this. Just kind of simple, but I'm just trying to leave some open space. Alright, so now I've pulled in a simple perk loop and I'm thinking I want to make the hi-hats a bit more interesting as well. But I'm going to show you what it sounds like now. Alright, so for the hi-hats, I added this Effectrix preset, but just blended in the mix level, and then I've added a delay as well, just to give me a sick bounce. So this is the hi-hats by themselves now. You can hear that the panning's on in the delay as well. So that's going to float between the left and right ears. Alright, so I'm keeping this beat kind of simple, so I think I've got all of the elements that I need for the track. So I'm just going to mix it, arrange it, and then I'll show you the outcome. Alright, so I finished mixing and arranging the beat, and I did add one or two more things, but I'm just going to play it and then talk you through what I've done. So in the intro, you can see there's a filter on it. I've actually just used the EQ for this one. So you can hear that I've layered the piano as well. So just to explain quickly, that counter melody that you're hearing is just that same piano, but I've copied it and then made it into an arpeggiator. So these chords here, I've just duplicated them, and then you can see that the broken chords on top, and then it sounds like this. Then in transition, you can also see I've automated the delay on the hi-hats. The arp comes back in. And now I'm just gradually bringing different things back into. So the claps come in. And then this is the same as the intro. I've added that EQ as a filter again. And then this time in the hook, the strings come in as well. And one of the perks. So that arp just makes all the difference. How everything plays. So the the second verse is just similar, and then the hook comes in, it repeats and fades out, which I like to do in a lot of my beats. So I hope you liked the video and I hope you were feeling the beat. If you want to try the Dubler Studio Kit for yourself, then I've put a link to it in the description. So shout out to Vochlea for sending it me. I know I kept this beat kind of simple, but that MIDI microphone is perfect for when you want to translate ideas into your DAW. And the other thing is, I've just released a new beat tape. It's the Prick Tape Instrumentals Volume 2. It's full of drill and trap beats, so if you like my beats, then definitely check that out. It's on all streaming platforms now, so I'll also link that in the description. And I'll see you next time.